Hello everyone, my name is UltimoFive and today we're going over the Opticor Vandal, the M6 GNR. The Opticor Vandal is the Vandal version of the Opticor and is obtained by either earning 100 points from the reoccurring Thermia Fractures event by purchasing the weapon from Barracuteer when he has it in stock for 550,000 credits and 650 ducats, or it can be traded from a player who has it at rank 0 with no Forma or Arcane Catalyst installed. Requires a Mastery rank of 14, comes with a V Polarity slot plus a Dash Auxilia slot, and because of this the builds on this weapon will require 3 Forma. And the Opticor Vandal excels in medium to long range combat, dealing with high leveled enemies of all factions against single targets and small crowds. The Opticor Vandal has a few buffs when compared to the original Opticor. These stats would be a higher critical chance, a higher critical multiplier, a higher status chance, a higher fire rate, a larger magazine size, a faster reload speed, and a lower total damage. Advantages for the weapon would be that it has a high critical chance, a high critical multiplier, a very high status chance, an innate 1 meter punch through, pinpoint accuracy, and shots explode in a 4.6 meter radius upon impact on a surface or enemy. Disadvantages, however, for the weapon would be that explosions inflict self-stagger, explosions have linear damage fall off, and the weapon fires as soon as it reaches full charge, which can lead to premature firing. The elements for the Opticor Vandal against the Corpus would be Viral Electricity. Electricity stuns the target for 3 seconds and deals 50% base damage per second for 6 seconds. The build's flex slots are High Voltage or Prime Bane of Corpus, and due to the weapon's innate magnetic status, it performs very well against the Corpus faction altogether. Galvanized Scope is only on this build due to just 1 to 2 shotting all Corpus enemies and stacking critical chance with headshots on the human enemies. Meanwhile, Viral is on the build to amplify damage along with Electricity helping against robotic enemies. The element for the Opticor Vandal against the Corrupted and Grineer will be Viral. Viral amplifies health damage by 100% for 6 seconds and stacks up to 10 times for a total of 325%. The build's flex slot is Prime Bane of Grineer Corrupted and works very well into late game due to Hunter munitions, of course. However, Galvanized Scope isn't on this build for the reason that slash proc kills don't grant stacks, so it is much easier to use Point Strike. The elements for the Opticor Vandal against the Infested would be Gas. Gas deals 50% base damage per second for 6 seconds in a 3 meter radius and stacks up to 10 times to a total of 6 meters. The build's flex slot is Bladed Rounds and is just disgusting against the Infested. I thought it was going to not do so well due to the weapon's innate magnetic status, but it really nukes down the faction, and out of all my tests, Gas did the best. Vigilante Supplies. In place of having no Auxilis mod, this will cost 1 more Forma in order to have, but can help with the crit enhancement in the weapon's ammo reserve. Split Chamber. In place of Galvanized Chamber if one doesn't have access to the mod through arbitration or doesn't have it. Galvanized Aptitude. In place of Serration. Originally the builds had Galvanized Aptitude, but I ended up changing my mind due to how much better Serration worked. However, in way late game, I would say Forma a D slot for Galvanized Aptitude instead of V for Serration. Point Strike. In place of Galvanized Scope in the Corpus build if one doesn't have access to the mod through arbitration or doesn't want to use it. Bane mods. In place of their prime counterparts if one doesn't have them. Critical Delay. In place of Point Strike if one is okay with a slightly lower fire rate and charge speed. Speed Trigger, Prime Shred, or Bladed Rounds. In place of the build's Bane faction mod if one doesn't like to use faction mods. There are several ways to enhance critical stats and damage for this weapon. For instance, for damage, Rhino's Roar. Nova's Molecular Prime, which makes all sources of damage increase by 100% against primed enemies. Mirage's Eclipse mixed with her Hall of Mirrors adds a massive damage bonus during the day and light. Saren's Toxic Lash mixed with her Spores abilities. Equinox's Rest and Rage in day form makes targets more vulnerable to damage. Wisp's Haste Reservoir, which bolsters fire rate in turn increasing DPS. And Chroma's Vex Armor, when health gets damage, increases weapon damage. For critical stats, Haro's Covenant can get up to 50% critical chance and 200% on headshots. Nidus's Virulence with his Teaming Virulence augmentation grants a large increase to critical chance upon hitting 4 enemies. Zephyr's passive increases critical chance by 150% while airborne. Theodar's Kavat with Cat's Eye can give a 60% critical chance boost, and Samita Kavat with Charm can give a 200% crit chance. Arcane Rage. Upon headshot, 15% chance for 180% damage of primary weapons for 24 seconds. Arcane Acceleration. Upon critical hit, 30% chance for 90% fire rate to primary weapons for 9 seconds. Arcane Primary Charger. On melee kill, 30% chance for 300% damage of primary weapons for 12 seconds. Arcane Avenger. Upon being damaged, 21% chance for 45% critical chance for 12 seconds. Arcane Arachne. On wall latch, 150% damage for 30 seconds. And Primary Merciless. On primary weapon kill, 30% primary damage for 4 seconds, which stacks up to 12 times and includes a 30% reload speed buff and 100% additional max ammo. When you get your hands on a Riven for this weapon, the flex slot to replace will be what was previously discussed before. This may require 1 or 2 more Pharma, and in order to maximize damage output with the Opticor Vandal, one will need to get lucky and get some nice stats. My ideal stats would be critical chance, critical damage, and negative zoom or weapon recoil. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more guides on Warframe, please click the like and sub buttons to let me know. And as per usual, I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.